there's any reason that the people who are new hopes won't be walking around the shelter knowing that now. The supervisors will be expected to walk around the shelter and know that. And if there's a problem with that, we'll fix it. Email Mark and copy me. And, that's the best way to get things done. We're sort of driven to perfection. It's a sickness, but you don't get to perfect on the first step. Would you consider a program allowing volunteers with security clearances to help after hours? We have had shelters that had volunteers help after hours, and I knew that was happening, and I approved it. It's been up to the management of each shelter, quite frankly, and I certainly am up to entertaining that. One of the challenges that we have is that after 5, when there's only a couple of people here, it's harder to ensure everyone's safety. But I think that's certainly something that we can talk about. And when it was being done here at the shelter, it was with my knowledge and with my approval. And so some of the other shelters, the management didn't want to do it and didn't do it. So that's it's been shelter by shelter, but I'd be happy to work with people to talk about that and just, to sit with a group to talk about how that could work. Why, when the values of the New Hope program stay open and honest and transparent communication with New Hope partners, New Hope partners not consulted or notified of this change prior to its being leaked to the public? I think it was the New Hope partners that leaked it to the public. That's what I mean. So she was wrong. There wasn't May 1st, and the program's not over. So that came. The phones went off because of a technical glitch. Oh, but it's not true is the answer. The New Hope. Why, when the values of the New Hope program, state open and honest, transparent communication with New Hope partners, not consulted or notified? Well, that's, it wasn't ready to launch. We were trying to work out the details, and I think.
I think what they're asking is why was it stated as a decision as opposed to discussed.
Well, let's just talk about that. You're not responsible for maintaining the budget. You're not responsible for the animal care. I mean, there is a level at which the management team, me and my top managers, are charged with certain responsibilities. It's not that we don't want to communicate with you, but we can't do everything that you always want us to do and provide the best care within the constraints of the budget. I mean, why are we here tonight? Because we want to try to clear the air and get things going in the right direction. How is now taking the liaisons from several people and putting one person in charge of it logically to make it easier if having several people do it is too overwhelming? We've put more staff on this. I don't understand the question because
you've got one person replacing 6.
Basically, you said that you're going to have one person going from shelter to shelter with your rotation. So how is that going to get into the program that you're now saying having 6 designated people at the shelters?
Because you all weren't doing it at the shelters. Well, I have the statistics showing when the volunteer orientations were held and how long it took to process the paperwork, so I would beg to differ.
Straight in, straight out, straight in, straight out.
But your shelter is an exception. I mean, let's face it, you got Leslie down there, you got you down there, it was an exception. We were having a lot of complaints about volunteers who were not getting into the system quickly and who were getting very frustrated and wondered if we really needed volunteers.
Sounds like this is a staff problem. Why would one shelter have much better staff than another? Exactly.
How will kennel supervisors do the same job as New Hope? You know, kennel supervisors should be on the floor, walking around all the time, knowing the animals in the shelter, making sure things are being cleaned, and if they're not, you should tell us and let us know about it. You should tell us about it, please. Every day that the kennels are not clean and that the new...
Louder. But the kennel supervisors do an amazing job. Yeah. They really do. I have nothing bad to say about any of them. There's one problem. For 2 days now, people have complained to me. They have called the shelter. The phone takes 15 to 20 rings. Okay, then they pay two supervisors who are too busy, unfortunately. They don't answer the phones.
Why don't you call the New Hope coordinator? Those numbers are so good.
No. I'm talking about like that's on a Monday. Okay, on a Monday.
Well, we're closed.
No, but we're close to New Hope. We're open to New Hope.
Mhm.
Okay, or for example, on a Sunday when there's only one supervisor on, things like that. In other words, when you get put on hold, that is the question we're asking. We're not. This isn't about anything. You understand what I'm saying?
Well, work with me here, Panina. Work with me. If you're not getting the same or better service, let me know and give me names and times.
I'm willing to do that. This is the thing. The problem is.
What is it?